easy, simple, and effective stretches that you can do with the elastic band today for the hamstrings, the hips, and the ankles. Got our elastic band, and we are gonna just lie down on your back with your elastic band over the foot, and you place it over the ball of the front part of your foot so that you are able to move your ankle and hip. And then you're going to bring your arms all the way down to the side, ground them. Think of all your postural principles that we do in Pilates, opening up the shoulders, squeezing down the shoulder blades towards each other, keeping the neutral pelvis, closing the ribs in, and your arms nice and tight on the side. So you're actually getting a little, just by holding the band, you're getting a little bit of upper body work as well. Your sole of the foot straight up to the sky as if you're carrying a tray on the sole of the foot, and you are trying to keep that level horizontal position with your ankle, and that in itself is a great ankle stretch already. So if I start just gently bending my knee towards my shoulder, so I've got my right leg up, right knee pointing towards my shoulder as I bend the knee and I stretch the leg, pushing the heel away and up, opening up the back of the leg and the hamstring. So while I'm doing that, I'm not skipping my pelvis up. I'm keeping my tailbone grounded into the floor, into your neutral pelvis, and then I'm bending and stretching. And you'll immediately feel the difference when you start doing that anchoring of the hips. In the stretch, you'll feel the difference. Exhale to stretch, inhale to bend. Exhale to stretch, inhale to bend. The other leg at this point, I just have bent knee, flat foot on the floor, keeping the connection in the tummy. Of course, if you have capacity, you can or you may stretch that other leg all the way down. You possibly will get a deeper stretch. Up to you on the day for your body, what you need. Inhale, exhale. We're going up to 10 of these. Okay. Once you've done your 10, remember you're keeping your hips square and stable. You're closing the ribs in. We're going to point into that band, and for that, you need that elastic around your front of your foot and over your toes. I've got grip socks on, so that makes life even easier because I can really use my elastic to stretch through my whole ankle joint, use my plantar flexors underneath my feet, and just stretch that whole ankle joint. Okay. Ankles, we underestimate them. We don't give them as much love, but yet they carry us everywhere. So they're very important for balance. And also, if you do any kind of sport, they hold you up, they help you change direction, and they need to be strong and mobile for you to be able to use them effectively. And this is what helps that. It's just the stretch that you need. Also great. So up to 10 of those. Then you can go into what I call an ankle circle. So an ankle circle, I'm pointing my toes and I'm drawing a big circle with my toes on the ceiling. Okay, 360 circle with the toes, all directions as best you can. And you'll notice here, if your ankles are very tight, you'll notice one point in that circle, perhaps that feels tighter or looks tighter, and try and work into that tightness. At this stage, your ankle should be nice and tight, and you should feel some heat spreading down through that ankle and calf muscle, even down the hamstring, perhaps. 9, that tibialis muscle on the front of the shin as well. 10, and change of direction, 10. Okay, you can do more if you need more. I just need 10. I can feel my ankles talking to me. So, 9 and 10. Awesome. Okay, from there, we're going to take the leg into a circle. So we're taking the leg now, we're sending it out to the side, we're sending it down and away, putting pressure into that circle up through the middle on an inhale, and we go exhale as we circle. Thinking of our Pilates principles, keeping our hips square neutral as we do our movement. 3, inhale up, big exhale. 4, and inhale up, exhale. 5, and inhale up, exhale 6, and inhale up, exhale 7, and up, exhale 8. Lots of connection through the core. Use your arms as well. If you're using your arms and keeping them nice and stable and your shoulders open, you're even getting a little bit of arm work, holding your bicep curl in your arms. That should be 10 up in the middle. So it's actually a kind of like a semi circle that you do, not a full circle, because you're going from here straight down the midline of your body, and then you sweep the leg into a half circle up and back down the center of your body. So think of it as a half circle. I'm flexing my toes here because I'm enjoying the stretch in my Achilles and my calf, but you can point your toes if you feel you need that plantar flexion more than the toes flexing up. Both are effective for the ankle joint, for the stretch in the hamstring. Keeping hips square, breathing as you go, inhale, exhale. I generally do exhale on the effort, which in this case would be my lift of my leg towards me as I stabilize my core and my hips to do that. 9, and we go. 10. Good. And over here, what you can do is add a little pelvic curl. So imprint from your neutral, you go into an imprint, a little half curl up, half curl down, back to neutral. Remember, we're focusing on stretching those hammies. So keeping the leg as straight as you can, half curl up. Hips are level in this case, just to add some pelvic floor work there. Up to 10, rolling the back up and down. Keep pushing that heel to the sky and leveling off your hips. And 5, my 5, you do your 10 count, 6. You guys know how bad my counting is, so keep your own count. There we go, and we go rolling up, rolling down. Let's do 2 more for me. Exhale, rolling up, rolling down, using my core, and exhale, rolling up and rolling down. Well done. Okay, so that's the one side. You can do the same on the other side. So we've got the other side, guys. I did mine with my leg 90-degree bend, so that's what I'm going to do on this side. You are most welcome to straighten your leg out for more stretch. Okay, so put your elbows right down to the side, opening up your neck and shoulders, getting into that neutral pelvis and postural alignment. Sole of the foot up to the sky like you're carrying a tray on your sole of the foot, tray of drinks. It's morning for me, so mine is green tea and then coffee. So put something on your tray and keep it horizontal. You don't want to spill your drinks. Inhale, exhale, switch. Keeping that neutral. You close the ribs in, hugging those ribs in around the trunk as you exhale, feeling how that kicks you into your abs, into your center. There you go. 5 and 6. I'm trying to lengthen my left hip down and away from me instead of hiking it up and making my hip lines too. So that symmetry across my hips, important. 9, and we go 10. Good, into those ankle stretches, pointing the toes, and make sure that elastic's over your toes so it doesn't slip. Grip socks makes it easier. 3, pointing flex. Full stretch through that foot, underneath the foot, arch of the foot, through the calf muscle, tibialis muscle on the front of the shin as you flex it, working. There we go. 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and we go 10. Good, guys. And then we're going to go into a circle. And remember, you've got different types of elastic bands. So you can have tighter elastic bands, looser elastic bands, depending on what you're going for. I'm going for movement. So I've got a medium elastic that allows me to stretch, but doesn't make it too easy. So I can still feel the work. That's 10 for me, one direction, and I'm reversing my circle. full circle on the ceiling with my toes, 360 degrees. I'm trying to see where the tight spots are on the ankle. I'm trying to make that circle as smooth as possible, all directions. Also doesn't help rushing through it. Actually is more effective when you try and slow it down, control the movement, like we always do in our Pilates. So do that. That's 10. Good. Now you're going to go into your circle with your whole leg. So here we want to try and keep the hips stable. I'm going to send my leg out to the side. I'm keeping my hips square. Obviously, I'm kicking my divider there, pushing down. Inhale, center up. So it's a semicircle that I'm making. Exhale, sending the leg down. And you're only going as wide with this leg as you can keep your hips still. Okay? You have to twist your hips to take this leg out. And this hip comes off the floor. That's not right, guys. That's incorrect. You have to try and keep your hips flat onto the floor. Allow the leg to move in its hip socket, the leg in its socket. Okay? So that's the movement, where the movement is, not the whole girdle. The trunk is staying square and stable. And in that way, you're doing stability work, doing a bit of core work at the same time. Who would have thought, hey, lying on your back with an elastic band, utilizing your core. I'm just doing 10 for myself. You do as many as you did on your first side, please. 10 to 12 is good. Good number to start with. Down, forward, side, up, down the midline, a semicircle up to the side too. And center down, lots of core, 3, and down, and we go 4. Whoopsie, I'm keep on kicking this poor divider here. And 5. And we go 6. And breathing, 7. Exhale on the lift. And we go 8. Closing those ribs, 9. And we go 10. And then we did some pelvic curls on the other side. So we imprinted the tail, scoop the pelvis, and roll the pelvis down. Inhale, exhale, scoop the pelvis up and rolling down. So I'm just doing a little half curl, getting myself into my lower abdominals as I curl up. Symmetry through my back muscles as I roll down. 4. And roll down. And we go 5. And roll down. And we go 6. And roll down. And 7. And roll down. And 8. And roll down. And we go 9. And roll down. Last one. And we go 10. And roll down. Good. So 10 to 12 reps. You can do it as a warm-up. It's great as a cool-down as well. If you just want to do that as a stretch set on its own, it's great as well. So yes, do it for your body on the day, what your body needs. If you need stretching, if you need just a little bit of centering core work as well, also great to do. So 10 to 12 reps to start off with, more if you want.